Every year, dozens of new K-pop groups make their debut. Some arrive with years of anticipation, massive budgets, and impossible expectations. Others quietly enter the industry hoping to carve out a place of their own. But regardless of where they come from, every rookie group faces the same challenge. How do you convince people to care? A debut is more than just a title track. It's your first impression. It's the moment you introduce your identity, your sound, and your ambitions to an audience that has seen hundreds of groups before you. One great song might grab people's attention, but a great debut album is what convinces them to stay. So when AND2BLE released their first mini-album, they had one job: show listeners why they're worth following. Did they manage to stand out in one of K-pop's most competitive generations, or is this another promising debut that will be forgotten in a matter of months? Hey guys, welcome back to Summers with Wade. I'm really excited to talk about this album with you guys. This is technically a double feature with Wednesday's video about ZEROBASEONE. While it really hurt that some of my favorite members left to become AND2BLE, I can't deny that I was really looking forward to see what they put out. So having both groups put out albums so close to one another felt like a little treat. But let's dive into the songs to see if they actually hold up. Quickly inserting this here, if you guys haven't seen it, I posted my review of ZEROBASEONE's Ascend yesterday. It was a whole ordeal, but I think the delayed processing or something is making it so that the video isn't being pushed. I'll leave the link in the iCard in case you're curious, pun intended. Okay, back to the video. Who is AND2BLE? Before we talk about the music, as always when talking about a new group, we first have to answer a simple question.
Who are you?
AND2BLE is a 5-member boy group under YH Entertainment, consisting of Janghao, Ricky, Kim Gyuin, Han Yujin, and Yoo Sunghoon. Sorry if I butchered that. While the name may be new, the faces certainly aren't. 4 of the members, Janghao, Ricky, Gyuin, and Yujin, first rose to prominence through Boys Planet before debuting in the massively successful project group ZEROBASEONE. Joining them is Yoo Sunghoon, another Boys Planet contestant who later debuted in Even, making AND2BLE something of a reunion between former trainees. Rather than trying to escape their past, AND2BLE embraces it. The group takes the experience, chemistry, and confidence the member developed over the past few years and channels it into a fresh new beginning. Their debut mini-album, Sequence 1 Curiosity, acts as exactly that, the first chapter of a new story. Built around themes of exploration, growth, confidence, and hope, the project asks listeners to approach this new era with the same curiosity the members themselves have. So, with introductions out of the way, let's see if AND2BLE's first step into this new chapter is one worth taking. Curious. Opening up the album, we have Curious, the group's high-energy debut title track. The song serves as an anthem for fearless exploration, ambition, and embracing the excitement of the unknown. It reflects the group's profound curiosity toward their new musical chapter and their eagerness to explore all the limitless possibilities waiting for them. The core foundation of the track merges the driving, bass-heavy grooves of future house with the bright melodic textures of synthpop. The song relies heavily on a nostalgic, old-school style. It mirrors the dramatic vocal structure and powerful instrumentation used by iconic 2nd and 3rd gen groups like EXO and SHINee. The track is anchored by a thick, groovy synth bass that gives the song a commanding and punchy rhythm. It utilizes sharp electronic percussion and heavy, intense drums that build a strong sense of momentum. Instead of leaning into a completely empty electronic drop, the chorus features a resounding, heavy stomp accompanied by rich backing vocals and dramatic layered melodies. And let me tell you, when I heard this song for the first time, it took me to heaven. If you've been following since Wade's Winter Wonderland, you'd know the massive soft spot I have for SHINee. The entire time I heard this song, it just transported me to 2nd gen. The vocal layering and the instrumentation just feels so reminiscent of that era in the best way possible. I also have to say, the vocals ate down. They all sound so secure and strong, but wow, the high notes and runs are impeccable. Truly, this song feels like it was made for me. What a way to introduce yourself to the world. Aura. Moving right along, we have Aura. The song serves as a bold, playful declaration of self-assurance, charm, and magnetic attraction. The track opens with the lines, "It's fancy baby, talking about me, fix your eyes on me," immediately setting a tone of ultimate self-worth and command. The members sing about stepping into a, quote, new era like you've never seen before, using their unique aura as a symbol of their presence and undeniable rookie power. The lyrics describe a spark between two people, turning a brief glance into a personal playground where magnetic chemistry takes over. The phrase, "feel like I'm born again," repeats in the pre-chorus, signalizing the excitement of taking a fresh path, shedding past doubts, and flying higher. The core foundation leans heavily into mid-tempo synth-pop, featuring a polished, breezy rhythm. True to its title, the track has an immaculate modern cool guy vibe. It captures a chic, charismatic aura tailored specifically to highlight the group's natural energy. Swirling, bright synthesizers flow throughout the verses and pre-chorus, driving the track forward without overwhelming the vocals. The beat relies on a steady, punchy dance pop percussion line. It's crisp, rhythmic, and less aggressive than the title track, emphasizing a smooth groove over heavy bass drops. Personally, this one really stuck with me. I really like how it's more laid back after the intensity of the opener. It really lets you breathe a little bit while they charm you with their voices. The standout part for me was definitely the post-chorus. The way they sing "Cause I Got Something You Like" is stuck in my head. Also, Jang Hao's lower register? Hello? When he sung the beginning of the chorus, ooh! Sugar Rush. Up next is Sugar Rush, a vibrant rhythmic track that explores an irresistible, addictive, and overwhelming love. It uses a sugar high as a central metaphor for the dizzying euphoria of a new romantic obsession. The lyrics compare a powerful infatuation to a literal sugar rush. The first verse opens by saying, quote, "Your sweet scent, my dopamine explodes," capturing the instant chemical rush of falling hard for someone new. The song highlights a thrilling duality where love feels both intoxicating and risky. The members sing, "The deeper I fall, the more toxic our love gets. Trouble keeps growing endlessly," acknowledging the danger but choosing to dive in anyway. The fast-paced chorus emphasizes the complete loss of control with the repeating hooks, "Sugar rush, got a crush, give me that sugar rush," underscoring a craving for just one more touch. Unlike the darker EDM energy of Curious, Sugar Rush delivers a playful, high-tempo, and highly rhythmic pop style. It relies heavily on a snappy, driving percussion line and bright melodic tension that builds continuously until the chorus. The track is anchored by a highly syncopated funk-style bass line that keeps the tempo moving briskly. The beat includes incredibly sharp rhythmic drum programming and snappy hand clap accents that build tension throughout the verses. I'm gonna need you to take a wild guess. Yup, I absolutely love this song. I have literally been replaying this and ZV-1's Exotic back to back for what feels like weeks at this point. I really feel they captured the addictive feeling of a sugar rush. I'm quite literally obsessed with this song. Their delivery and the instrumental are all just stuck in my head. Definitely one of the standout tracks for me. Bed. Our next song is Bed, a comforting mid-tempo pop R&B track. The song serves as an uplifting message of comfort and a promise to support listeners on their personal journeys. The track uses a bed as a metaphor for a safe haven where dreams are born and nurtured. The opening lyrics introduce a warm perspective on life, saying, quote, "I picture it like this. The world is like a bed taking on different forms. A world where everyone keeps their own dreams. It frames everyday life as a comforting space that cradles individual hopes." The members offer a dedicated pledge of reassurance to the listener. They sing, "When tomorrow comes, I promise I'm there, I won't give up on you," and "Even when you fall down, I'll pick you back up, know I'll be there for you." The chorus lines, "On the bed, a frame to hold your dreams," emphasize the idea of a secure foundation. It represents a starting point where you can safely step forward to write your own story. Musically, it's a mid-tempo pop R&B ballad that serves as the most vocally focused and comforting track on the album. The song highlights a softer, more emotional side of the group, contrasting sharply with the energetic dance tracks earlier in the album. It blends a smooth R&B rhythm with a commercial pop structure, relying on melodic hooks and a warm sonic texture. I also found it leaves ample room for individual vocal colors. It emphasizes the members' rich vocal tones, smooth transitions, and soaring falsettos. The track opens with a gentle, warm electric piano chord progression that immediately establishes a cozy, intimate atmosphere. It begins with a minimal, stripped-back rhythm, and as it approaches the chorus, a crisp R&B drum pattern kicks in to give the track a steady, grounding heartbeat. Lush ambient synth pads swell during the pre-chorus and chorus, lifting the song up and creating a vast, dreamy soundscape that feels like gazing at the stars. When I first heard the title and I hadn't read the lyrics, I was a bit concerned. but the song is much more wholesome than my brain initially assumed. Serving as our mandatory slower song, I feel it once again provides a nice change of pace and adds to the album's sonic diversity. My one issue with it is the length. It could have benefited from an additional minute, allowing them to flesh out a bridge and final chorus. It being short holds it back a little for me, but it's still a really good song. Happy And. Closing out the album on a positive note, we have Happy And. The song serves as a sweet, celebratory anthem focused on the magic of meeting someone special, gratitude, and a promise of a beautiful, never-ending journey together. It functions as a classic K-pop fan song meant to express the members' deep appreciation for their supporters. The lyrics describe a bond so strong that it feels faded. The members sing, "I knew at first sight that it was you, probably even in another universe," and "to call it a coincidence feels more like a miracle," treating their meeting as a precious gift. The title, Happy And, is a clever play on words. Instead of a traditional happy ending where a book closes, the group declares, quote, "Let's call it Happy And," focusing instead on continuous growth and a shared future. During the bridge, the members sing, "When things are hard, it's okay to lean on me. I'll be by your side. I'm not afraid anymore," cementing the song as a comforting safe space. Moving completely away from the R&B mood of Bed, Happy is a breezy, fast-paced summer dance pop track. The song is built on bright, twinkling electronic synths, and it relies on airy chords and glittering synth plugs floating in the background to create a whimsical soundscape that feels like a fun day at a carnival. One thing I really enjoyed is that the instrumental avoids jarring structural shifts. It flows smoothly from the verses into the chorus, maintaining a steady, comforting drive. The composition is built to give a sense of continuous upward momentum, reinforcing the song's theme of a never-ending journey. As a closing track, I really enjoyed it. The song and title feel like they're setting themselves up for a great future ahead. The message and production really nail the sense of an open ending for me. Genuinely, it makes me so excited to see what they put out next. Final album thoughts. Overall, I came away from this album genuinely impressed. As a debut project, I think it accomplishes exactly what it sets out to do. It introduces the members, establishes a clear musical identity, and most importantly, leaves me excited for what comes next. That sounds simple, but it's surprisingly difficult to pull off. Plenty of groups debut with albums that feel like a collection of songs. This, on the other hand, feels like a statement. From the very beginning with Curious, the group invites us into this new chapter alongside them. That sense of exploration runs throughout the entire project alongside a youthful optimism that never comes across as naive. Instead, it feels genuinely exciting. Musically, I also think they struck a really nice balance. The album never overstays its welcome, but it still manages to show several sides of the group. You have the explosive second-gen inspired energy of Curious, which, if you couldn't already tell, was absolutely made for me. Then you transition into the cooler, more relaxed charisma of Aura, followed by what is easily one of my favorite songs released this year, Sugar Rush. Seriously, I don't think I've stopped listening to that song since the album dropped. But instead of keeping the energy cranked up the entire time, the album then slows things down with Bed. Even if I wish it had another minute to really let the song breathe, I appreciate how it showcases the members' vocals while giving the project some emotional depth. Finally, Happy And wraps everything together beautifully. Rather than feeling like an ending, it feels like the beginning of something much bigger, leaving the door wide open for whatever comes next. If I had one overarching criticism, it would honestly just be the length. A couple of these songs left me wanting just a little bit more, and normally that can be frustrating, but here I think it's actually a compliment. For a debut, I think that's a pretty great problem to have, wanting more. One comparison I couldn't stop making while listening to this album was between Curious and ZEROBASEONE's Top 5. In my review of Ascend, I mentioned that while I really enjoyed Top 5, it never fully felt like a title track to me. There was always something about it that felt like it was missing that final spark, a big defining moment you'd expect from a song that's supposed to introduce a new era. Ironically, Curious gave me exactly what I was looking for. From the explosive production and the dramatic vocal layering to the sheer confidence of the performance, it immediately announces itself as an event. It feels grand, memorable, and unapologetically theatrical in a way that instantly grabs your attention. I don't necessarily think Curious is the objectively better song, even if I do prefer it, but for me, it functions as a title track much more effectively. It has a clear identity and leaves you wanting to hear what comes next. More than anything, this mini album made me curious. Not just because of the title, but because it made me genuinely interested in following this group's journey. If this is the foundation they're building from, I can't wait to see what they create once they're more comfortable with their identity. They've already shown they have fantastic vocalists, strong production behind them, and a surprisingly cohesive musical direction. As first impressions go, I'd say AND2BLE absolutely nailed theirs. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a video. Tell me in the comments down below which song was your favorite. Mine is tied between Curious and Sugar Rush. Also, are you excited for their future? Because I certainly am. Remember that I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye!